Welcome back to our show, Let's Talk Stocks, here at the 19th Regional Investments and Capital Markets Conference of the JSE at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. And joining me for us to have a quick discussion is Mr. Gordon Clarke, and he is of Xtreme Lifestyle Global Academy. And guess what? He's at the FX division. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of interest that you're going to have in what he has to say. Gordon, welcome to the show, man.
Man, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Indeed. How are you enjoying the conference so far?
Man, I'm loving it. One of the main things I really love, which is what I tune into, is the young kids here. Like, I think that is absolutely phenomenal. You have so many youngsters here, and I mean, they're in tune. All right, some of the questions that I was saying, I was like, man, when I was that age, I wasn't even thinking on that level. So to have something like this, it gives them something like they can really reach out and touch, have those entrepreneurships, make that networking. Because I think a lot of times, a lot of us, we have so many ideas, but we don't have the exposure to it. So to have that right there in front of them where they can get that visual as well as have that inspiration and grow a network at such a young age, that's beautiful.
So Gordon, let us talk about Xtreme Lifestyle Global Academy. What is that? Where are you? What exactly do you do?
All right, so I'm one of the educators on that platform. I'm a master Forex educator on the platform, but I also am the mindset coach as well. So, right, so that's why I love to tune in to the youth, but we're all still kids, right? But at Xtreme FS Global Academy, we really embrace entrepreneurship. So you'll see us help people not only with just trading Forex, because I like to keep it simple, all right, because I think a lot of times some people, when they start teaching investing, they start talking in language, and everybody's like, with the deer in the headlights there. Right, so right. So I like to break it down, but we have that for the youth, as well as we now, Xtreme Lifestyle, we now offer wholesale travel. And so we're just really getting people out there and expanding this company. It started in 2021. And in that short amount of time, we're already in over 50 countries, and we're growing like fast. So now I'm here.
And what exactly do you hope to leave with the Jamaican audience at this conference?
Right. Well, it's the thing that I tell all of my students: wealth is the value that you create for someone other than yourself. And so the thing that I'm loving about this whole conference is everybody is just sharing value. All right, I ask this question all the time: what's the last thing that you spent money on? And what you're spending money on is things that you find of value. So that means that money flows where value comes from, right? And a lot of people want money to flow to them, but there's no value coming from them. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
Is that part coming from the mindset part? Because, I had a conversation with a colleague, and I was saying, gone are the days when you go out to get a job, and that's you accept the salary because that's what the interview or the job is offering. Right. But you're now at a place where you must be carrying some value to that table.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember before I had a little bit of experience in the music industry, and what happened was, it used to be a time where you just had talent, and you would sit down and people say, hey, we like your music, we're going to sign you. Now business, and this is across the board in all industries, they want to see, do you have a following? Do you have your business set up? Everything else. So now you're bringing more to the table, but that also offers you the ability to say, hey, these are my terms now. And so now we have so much access. You have programs like this. Man, shout out to Mrs. Marlene. Excellent job. But I mean, having this here allows people to now have a lot more in their toolbox, so when they sit down and start making deals, they can make even bigger deals than their yesteryears.
Xtreme Lifestyle. Again, let me let us delve into Xtreme Lifestyle and exactly what you do. I mean, you're now in 50 countries, only started in 2021 through the pandemic.
Yes.
How did you manage to do that?
Man, and it goes back to the mindset, because there's a thing called the law of polarity, right? The law of polarity, because we always talk about energy. Everything is energy. If you break down an atom to its smallest form, it's just an energy vortex. So that means everything is energy, right? Well, the law of polarity is a part of energy. There's a negative. There's a left. There's a right. There's a up. There's a down. There's an inside. There's outside. So for every obstacle, there's an opportunity. So when the pandemic came, yes, there was a lot of turmoil, trouble, chaos, but there was also a lot of opportunity. And you now are seeing more millionaires being made than ever before in history. So we focused in on that, and we were able to create wealth during a time where most people found it to be turmoil. We found a paradise.
Crisis is too good to waste, right?
Right. Absolutely.
You're now here in Jamaica. Is the Caribbean region the next frontier for Xtreme Lifestyle?
Yes, right down here in Jamaica, there's a group called the Barrier Breakers. All right, so you'll see people like Mrs. Bridget Buckner, all right, Mr. Jacob Milko coming. He's one of the co-founders of our company. He comes down here quite often. I will be coming down here. Matter of fact, I'm here because I'm doing a boot camp tomorrow. Right, so I'm going to be over here this weekend, and I'm showing people how to trade. I'm showing people how to grow their business and showing them how to correct their mindset so they can literally focus on their goals and not get distracted and pulled away from what it is that they're attempting to set out to reach.
As you segued into that boot camp for tomorrow, and it's going to be about Forex, right?
Yes.
One of the things some analysts say is that, foreign exchange trading is a zero-sum game, in that it doesn't necessarily add new value. Almost as if somebody has to lose for you to win. Is that so, or how can you then show them how to add new value?
Right. So I think a lot of times people look at it and they'll say, well, I'm doing this, so let me discredit what you're doing. I don't really buy into that. All right. I think everybody can win. And it's been shown that anytime that you have an industry that makes $7.6 trillion a day, there's more than enough money for everybody. All right. So what I show people how to do is to really set up their defense and start looking at the market in a different way to make it more simplistic. I think a lot of times when people heard Forex in the past, they saw different schemes. So, hey, I'm going to show you this, but I'm going to teach you a product. I don't do that. What I do is I show you exactly what the market is doing, so you can know exactly what it's going to do. Like literally my students, they know where the market is going a month before time, a week ahead of time, and I show them how to find that in the market. So those are my patented strategies, all right, that I'm showing tomorrow. But also on top of that, small things like having a trading plan, because that increases your chances of being a profitable trader by 85%. And a lot of people just go on and say, well, I'm going to go on YouTube and teach myself. Okay, so now you don't even know if the person's teaching you is qualified to teach you. All you know if they have a YouTube video, and then on top of that, you may need an answer right now because the market moves fast and you don't have time to wait on that. So I like to get a lot of hands-on and show people how to actually break things down. So I'm very, very, very hands-on.
Forex tends to be hard trading. There are other investments like equities and so on, which the investor advisors will tell you this is long term, or you have to look at the fundamentals, you have to do proper analysis. Is that necessarily so with Forex, or do you just watch the movements and you build out your candlesticks? And
okay, so let me give you a quick tip real quick, just to give you an example. Okay, and this is for anybody that trades. You can do this. All right. It takes the market, all right, because we counted something called pips, which is point in percentage, right? So it takes the market 1,000 lots to move the market 1 pip or 1 point, right? So that translates to about 100,000 to 1 million American dollars per 1 pip. So anytime that you see a long candle, right, that is telling you the banks do not want anything at this particular price point. So what happens when it comes back to that? They still don't want it at that price point, all right? So this is something called an order block, all right? So I show people how to identify those order blocks, right? But on top of that, I use the bias. I use a lot of things, but it's real simple. So I go through it in a systematic way. And I literally don't stay on the charts that long. I mark up my charts probably Friday evening for the week coming up, or Sunday at the latest. When the market opens, I probably hit my weekly goal before Sunday's over with, and I don't look at the chart again to the end of the week.
How important is it for things like stops and your blocks and so on, especially given that Japan might be trading when you're asleep?
Right. So this is another thing for my people that trade. A lot of times we find a pair and somebody gave us a signal, right? And we'll start taking that and say, oh man, that is my favorite pair. And it's not really your favorite pair. Somebody else did the work. And you like, okay, I won some money off of that, and you start gravitating to it, but you never did really learn that pair. So it's really important, like you said with Japan, right, the Japanese yen. It's really important to know the sessions that are open, because when you start understanding the sessions that are open, you start understanding the movement, the consolidation that comes first, and you're going to see orders above and below that consolidation. So banks are in the business to do what? Make money, all right? So they're going to target those orders above and below, and then you're going to see an order block at the equilibrium, and then you're going to see what's called expansion.
Should I be watching the fact that interest rates are here, the Fed is making a certain decision on rates, where's inflation going?
Well, I will say this, because that's kind of a loaded question, and for a particular reason. Even with the news, the market still goes off of structure. So market structure is the primary reason of the direction of the market, and then price action is second. Okay, so what you're going to find is every time you see the market turn around, there's a structure somewhere. So I teach you how to identify those. But on top of that, putting your stops is so important, because I think a lot of people have this mental block. I've seen people say, well, I got a mental stop loss. No, right? Because a mental stop loss doesn't stop anything, all right? So defense wins championships, all right? So the way I set everything up, I like to, you can lose 8 trades and win 2 and still be in profit the way I do it, because it's off of structure. So, yes, sir.
And finally, I'm just going to ask you to remind the viewers about your boot camp tomorrow, where, when.
Yes. All right. So it's at an undisclosed location for tomorrow because it is private, but I will be coming back. So I believe they're going to put my information there, but you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook. Just reach out to me anywhere. I'm very, very, very accessible. But I will be back in Jamaica soon, and we'll have those tickets out, because that one is sold out. Like, it's sold out. Like within the first 48 hours, it was done.
There's so much to talk about when it comes to foreign exchange trading. But thank you for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Man, I'm enjoying Jamaica, man. Y'all, I love it here, man. I may need to get another piece of property down here, man. Thanks for having me.
It.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Bye-bye.